Genetically modified organisms. Are they harmful or beneficial? For over thousands of years, humans have been manipulating the DNA of other organisms like that of plants and animals through a process called selective breeding. This term, also known as artificial selection, was coined by Charles Darwin, which describes the process of choosing the organisms with the most desirable traits and mating them with the intention of propagating and perpetuating said traits through their progenies. Attaining the desired outcome through this process is tedious and may take a couple of generations before the chosen trait becomes apparent. Fortunately, in this age of technological advancements and scientific breakthroughs, researchers have devised a way to bypass selection through newfound knowledge of genetic engineering, and this is in the form of genetically modified organisms. GMOs, short for genetically modified organisms, are organisms whose genetic material has been altered in order to obtain traits that are not easily acquired through conventional artificial selection. Recombinant technologies are utilized to alter genomes or the complete set of an organism's DNA, including all of its genes at the molecular level. This is usually done through the extraction and introduction of genes from an unrelated species of organism. Genetic modification is especially advantageous for the plant industry since it aids in pest resistance and crop production. Additionally, it can produce more nutritious food sources. Despite the benefits, many people and non-governmental organizations are still opposed to the idea of using genetically modified crops as a means of sustenance for the populace. Some argue that GMO-containing foods can pose health risks, such as allergies, illnesses, and even extreme diseases like cancer, due to the tampering of the organism's DNA. These claims, however, are backed up by inconclusive evidence. In spite of the opposition to GMOs, I still believe that the benefits of genetically modified crops far outweighs whatever harm it may cause. The world population has reached more than 7.5 billion in 2017 and is expected to reach more than 9.8 billion by the year 2050, according to a United Nations forecast. Enough food supply for this steadily growing population has been a continuous and enormous challenge. The companies who develop genetically modified seeds, or GM seeds, have pointed to this challenge as the main reason for its necessity, and they explain that GM seeds will help meet the growing needs of the world's population challenges in many ways. Genetically modified crops grown from GM seeds have been shown to have a higher crop yield compared to non-GM seeds. This is proven by a meta-analysis done by Italian researchers on modified corn called GE maize. The results, based on 21 years of field data, reveal that with the use of biotechnology, yields increased to up to 25%, while also improving grain quality and reducing mycotoxin content. Aside from increased yields, genetically modifying crops can also alleviate or perhaps completely eradicate malnutrition. Golden rice, which is a strain of rice engineered to biosynthesize beta-carotene, was conceptualized in the Philippines with the idea of reducing the amount of people perishing due to vitamin A deficiency. With more than half the population dependent on rice as a major staple, simply eating this can prevent blindness and even death. Not only can it potentially improve food security, but it can also be of advantage to farmers. In a report released by PG Economics, those who use seeds and crops improved with biotechnology have seen substantial net economic benefits. Also, GM crops have been promised to be more productive by their cultivators, such as Pinstrup Anderson. Their traits are expected to be easily adopted by farmers, giving the latter direct operational benefits or higher profits. The proponents of GM crops argue that the use of GM technology could improve the efficiency, resiliency, and profitability of farming. Aside from this, the use of GM crops reduces the need for and application of pesticides, making cropping systems more sustainable in the long run. It is thus foreseen that the use of GM crops will help simplify crop management and reduce crop losses due to the higher resistance to pesticides and herbicides. Not to mention, it can also help lessen the exposure of farmers and consumers to toxic chemicals. Genetically modified organisms can be the answer to many of these world's troubles. It can increase food security and potentially eliminate malnutrition and hunger. Aside from this, the use of biotech crops could lessen the dependency on pesticides, hence limiting the exposure of people to poisonous chemicals. Farmers will be able to generate a profit because of higher crop yields and low maintenance costs. Genetic modification is the ideal technology for this world abound in problems. However, it must still be approached with caution. It must definitely not be abused in order for humanity to be graced with the benefits of this wonderful scientific advancement.